The Story of the Greek King and the Physician Douban. In the country of Zuman, in Persia, there lived a Greek king. This king was a leper, and all his doctors had been unable to cure him when a very clever physician came to his court. He was very learned in all languages and knew a great deal about herbs and medicines. As soon as he was told of the king's illness, he put on his best robe and presented himself before the king. "Sire," he said, "I know that no physician has been able to cure your majesty, but if you will follow my instructions, I will promise to cure you without any medicines or outward applications." The king listened to this proposal. "If you are clever enough to do this," he said, "I promise to make you and your descendants rich forever." The physician went to his house and made a polo club, the handle of which he hollowed out, and put in it the drug he wished to use. Then he made a ball, and with these things he went the next day to the king. He told him that he wished him to play at polo. Accordingly, the king mounted his horse and went into the place where he played. There the physician approached him with the bat he had made, saying, "Take this, sire, and strike the ball till you feel your hand and whole body in a glow. When the remedy that is in the handle of the club is warmed by your hand, it will penetrate through your body. Then you must return to your palace, bathe, and go to sleep, and when you awake tomorrow morning, you will be cured." The king took the club and urged his horse after the ball which he had thrown. He struck it, and then it was hit back by the courtiers who were playing with him. When he felt very hot, he stopped playing and went back to the palace, went into the bath, and did all the physician had said. The next day, when he arose, he found to his great joy and astonishment that he was completely cured. When he entered his audience chamber, all his courtiers, who were eager to see if the wonderful cure had been effective, were overwhelmed with joy. The physician Douban entered the hall and bowed low to the ground. The king, seeing him, called him, made him sit by his side, and showed him every mark of honor. That evening he gave him a long and rich robe of state, and presented him with 2,000 sequins. The following day he continued to load him with favors. Now the king had a grand vizier, who was avaricious and envious, and a very bad man. He grew extremely jealous of the physician and determined to bring about his ruin. In order to do this, he asked to speak in private with the king, saying that he had a most important communication to make. "What is it?" asked the king. "Sire," answered the Grand Vizier, "it is most dangerous for a monarch to confide in a man whose faithfulness is not proven. You do not know that this physician is not a traitor come here to assassinate you?" "I am sure," said the king, "that this man is the most faithful and virtuous of men. If he wished to take my life, why did he cure me? Cease to speak against him. I see what it is. You are jealous of him, but do not think that I can be turned against him. I remember well what a vizier said to King Sinbad, his master, to prevent him from putting the prince, his son, to death." What the Greek king said excited the vizier's curiosity, and he said to him, "Sire, I beg your majesty to have the condescension to tell me what the vizier said to King Sinbad." "This vizier," he replied, told Sinbad that one ought not believe everything that a mother-in-law says, and told him the story.
The story of the husband and the parrot. A good man had a beautiful wife, whom he loved passionately and never left if possible. One day, when he was obliged by important business to go away from her, he went to a place where all kinds of birds are sold and bought a parrot. This parrot not only spoke well, but it had the gift of telling all that had been done before it. He brought it home in a cage and asked his wife to put it in her room and take great care of it while he was away. Then he departed. On his return, he asked the parrot what had happened during his absence, and the parrot told him some things which made him scold his wife. She thought that one of her slaves must have been telling tales of her, but they told her it was the parrot, and she resolved to revenge herself on him. When her husband next went away for one day, she told one slave to turn under the bird's cage a hand mill, another to throw water down from above the cage, and a third to take a mirror and turn it in front of its eyes from left to right by the light of a candle. The slaves did this for part of the night and did it very well. The next day, when the husband came back, he asked the parrot what he had seen. The bird replied, "My good master, the lightning, thunder, and rain disturbed me so much all night long that I cannot tell you what I have suffered." The husband, who knew that it had neither rained nor thundered in the night, was convinced that the parrot was not speaking the truth, so he took him out of the cage and threw him so roughly on the ground that he killed him. Nevertheless, he was sorry afterwards, and he found that the parrot had spoken the truth. When the Greek king, said the fisherman to the genius, had finished the story of the parrot, he added to the vizier, "And so, vizier, I shall not listen to you, and I shall take care of the physician, in case I repent as the husband did when he had killed the parrot." But the vizier was determined. "Sire," he replied, "the death of the parrot was nothing, but when it is a question of a life of a king, it is better to sacrifice the innocent than save the guilty. It is no uncertain thing, however. The physician Douban wishes to assassinate you. My zeal prompts me to disclose this to your majesty, and if I am wrong, I deserve to be punished as the vizier was once punished." "What had the vizier done," said the Greek king, "to merit the punishment?" "I will tell your majesty, if you will do me the honor to listen," answered the vizier.